In this video, I'm going to show you how to create the fictitious vendor and customer in NetSuite. So again, as a reminder, the reason we're creating these fictitious entities is to prevent the no vendor or no customer line on your AR or AP aging. If you forget to include this entity on those journal entries, they'll always show up on your detailed AP agings, and you'll have no way to clear those out. And so the point of this is, in theory, right, if we do this correctly, the balance for these should be 0 at the end of this process, and then you would log into NetSuite, apply all those journals against each other, and then they're gone, and then you inactivate these vendors. So these are really import-only records that won't be used after you complete your implementation. Okay, so to create the vendor, we're going to go to Lists, Relationships, Vendors, and New. Okay, so now that we're on the vendor page, we're going to put Import AP Vendor. We've got multiple subsidiaries. I'm going to set the primary to be the parent, and then I'm going to add any of the additional subsidiaries down at the bottom. And then we're going to click Save. And now that this vendor is saved, I can easily see the vendor ID, the internal ID right here in the URL. So that's a nice little trick that for any record, the internal ID is going to be in the URL. So I'm just going to keep that handy. That's 3867. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the customer. So we're going to relationships, customer, new. And we're going to call this import AR customer. Again, we're going to set the subsidiary to be the parent. So you have to have the setting enabled that if you want this customer to be shared across all your subsidiaries, you would need to have that setting configured. So I would talk to your implementation partner about that. If you're not planning to have that setting configured, then you would need to create a separate customer for each subsidiary. Okay, so with that, we're going to click Save. Okay, and now we have our import AR customer. Again, I'm going to grab that internal ID, keep that handy because we'll need that shortly. Okay, so that's the video on how to create the import AP vendor and the import AR customer. See you in the next class.